Hello everyone, in this video we will dig deeper about the paradox of kindness, how being nice can lead to loneliness. Kindness is universally seen as a virtue, something to be cherished and admired, but for many people, especially those who are consistently generous and compassionate, kindness can sometimes lead to feelings of isolation and being taken for granted. It seems counterintuitive. If you are good to others, shouldn't they reciprocate? Unfortunately, that's not always the case. In fact, sometimes those who are the kindest may end up alone and feeling undervalued. Why does this happen? And how can we balance kindness with the need of personal boundaries and self-preservation? The nature of kindness and its vulnerability. Kindness is often associated with selflessness, empathy, and genuinely desire to help others. It is about putting others' needs before one's own, offering support, and showing compassion in the world where transactional relationships are often the norm. Kindness can stand out as both a powerful tool for connection and a potential vulnerability. The issue arises when kindness is perceived as a form of weakness or when it's taken for granted by others. Being kind can sometimes mean giving more than you receive, whether that be time, energy, or emotional investment. For those who are consistently giving, this can lead to exhaustion, frustration, and resentment, especially when the kindness is not reciprocated. Over time, kind people may feel overlooked or disregarded, as if their efforts are expected rather than appreciated. This is where loneliness begins to creep in. People may not fully recognize or value the kind person's contributions, seeing them as a constant presence that will always be there. The kindness becomes a given, not a rare or valued trait, and the individual may find themselves giving without receiving in return, emotionally or socially. Why nice people are taken for granted. Several factors contribute to why nice people often end up feeling taken for granted. First, over-dependence. When someone is kind and always willing to help, others can become overly reliant on them. Over time, these relationships can become one-sided. The kind person becomes the go-to support system, and the others may take it for granted that they will always be available. This overdependence can foster a sense of entitlement where others expect the kind person to always prioritize their needs over their own. Second, lack of boundaries. Kind people by nature may struggle with setting boundaries. They may feel guilty or saying no or fear disappointing others, leading them to overextend themselves. Without clear boundaries, people begin to expect that the kind person will always say yes, leading to a cycle where the kind person is continuously drained without any room to focus on their own needs or desires. Third, the risk of being perceived as too nice. When someone is always accommodating and puts others' needs before their own, there is the danger of being labeled as too nice or too passive. People may start taking advantage of this kindness, assuming that the kind person will never stand up for themselves or assert their own needs. This can lead to exploitation, whether intentional or not, where others feel entitled to the kind person's resources, time, or energy. for emotional labor. Being kind also involves emotional labor, making an effort to be understanding, patient, and supportive, often at the cost of one's own emotional needs. However, emotional labor is often invisible or unacknowledged. Those receiving the kindness might not recognize the emotional toll it takes on a kind person, which can result in feelings of invisibility or underappreciation. This lack of recognition can cause the kind person to feel lonely or disconnected, even if they are surrounded by others. The loneliness of kindness. When kindness is not reciprocated or appreciated, loneliness is the natural consequences. Loneliness is not just about physical isolation, it also stems at the lack of emotional connection. Kind people may find themselves in relationships where they are constantly giving but receiving little in return, which can create feelings of emptiness or solitude. Loneliness can also stem from mismatch between expectations and reality. Kind people often expect that their good deeds and empathy will be met with gratitude and care. However, the reality is that others may not always respond as hoped, and this disparity can create emotional distance when the emotional support and companionship they offer are mirrored in their relationships. The kind person may begin to feel as though they are the only one giving, which leads to the sense of isolation. How to balance kindness with self-preservation. So, how can we practice kindness without being taken for granted? How can we avoid the loneliness that sometimes accompanies being the nice person in the relationship or group? The answer lies in finding a balance between kindness and self-respect, learning to set boundaries and practicing self-care. First, set boundaries. Setting clear boundaries is one of the most important ways to protect yourself from being taken for granted. Boundaries allow you to maintain your emotional and physical well-being while still being kind to others. It's essential to recognize that it's okay to say no and prioritize your own needs without feeling guilty. Establishing limits doesn't mean you are less kind, it simply means you are protecting yourself from burnout and exploitation. Practice self-care. Being kind to others should never come at the expense of being kind to yourself. Self-care is crucial for emotional replenishment. Taking time for yourself, engage in activities that bring you joy, and nurturing your own needs are essential for maintaining your energy and emotional health. If you are consistently giving to others without replenishing your own well-being, you may quickly become depleted, which increases in likelihood of loneliness and resentment. Be selective with your giving. It's important to recognize that not every person or relationship deserves your kindness. While kindness can generally a positive trait, there are situations where being overly giving can be harmful. Choose to offer your time, energy, and resources to those who appreciate and respect you. Being selective in your giving allows you to maintain your sense of self-worth and avoid being taken advantage of by people who may not reciprocate. Communicate your needs. It's easy for kind people to assume that others should recognize their sacrifices without them having to vocalize their needs. However, people aren't always able to read between the lines, and expecting others to intuitively understand what you need can lead to disappointment. Be open about your emotions, express your needs clearly, and let others know when you need support or a break. Healthy communication strengthens relationships and fosters mutual respect. Cultivate relationship with reciprocity. Finally, it's important to surround yourself with people who reciprocate kindness. Relationships that are built on mutual respect, understanding, and support are essential for emotional fulfillment. Seek out friendships and partnerships where kindness is a two-way street. These relationships will not only help prevent feelings of loneliness, but will also help you truly value for who you are, not just for what you give. The strength in balanced kindness. Kindness, when practiced with balance and awareness, is one of the most powerful tools for building meaningful connections. However, without proper boundaries and self-care, it can lead to exhaustion and feelings of being taken for granted. To navigate this paradox, it's essential to understand that kindness does not mean sacrificing your own needs for the sake of others. By setting limits, practicing self-care, communicating your needs, and surrounding yourself with supportive relationships, you can continue to be kind while protecting yourself from loneliness and exploitation that sometimes accompany it. Ultimately, kindness is not about losing oneself, it's about maintaining a healthy balance that allows both of you and others to thrive. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy this video. Please do not forget to click subscribe button to support my channel. Thank you.